All right, guys, thank you very much. All right, yes, guys, no. Now, guys, you have to remember that when dating and all that, you have to really remember that it's gotten to the point now where everybody's just out of control and just doing whatever, and a lot of people are single, and a lot of people would prefer it and all that, and they just don't want to be married or whatever. I mean, who wants to be a traditional wife, knowing that maybe their spouse leaves them with nothing? Who wants to be a husband that's worried about their wife leaving them um, and taking all their money, taking everything they have, and maybe that happens with the girl too. But you know, who wants that, right? Who wants to be physically abused, right? I'm not sure if I could say that. Who wants to be, I'm not sure what to say. I'm trying to. Who wants to be abused, right? I'm not sure if I can say that. Who wants to be abused in any way? I mean, it's totally crazy. But I mean, in general, there are good people out there. There are people that would be very good in a relationship and all that, and they are out there, right? And the whole thing about being a 10, the whole thing about being someone that's considered beautiful, or the whole thing about someone that would be beautiful, would they consider someone that's um, not a 10? Of course they would, right? I mean, in reality, not everything's social media related, right? I mean, yes, we all love the gorgeous 10. We all love somebody that's really gorgeous. And yes, it really is possible for a 10 to go out with a 1. I've seen it before, right? And I don't think you have to really, uh, there are some people that don't even care about how a person looks. That's not important to them, right? But there's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. Um, you don't want to be in a custody battle in a relationship. And I mean, these things happen so much. And the thing is, it's not even, at this point, it's like the divorce rate is so high, right? So we have to look for things that are going to get us places, right? What does the person offer to us besides maybe being a 10, or even if you're a 10 and you're dating someone that's a 1, or you're a 1 and you're dating a 1, or a 5 and you're dating a 5, what is this person personality wise, or business wise, what is this person going to offer to us, right? What is this person going to bring us? Are they going to bring us headaches? Are they going to bring us drama? Are they going to bring, they have to bring us something that we actually want. I mean, relationships definitely need uh, give and take, and they need somebody that's going to be compatible in more than just being two tens. Even two tens. I mean, you see celebrity couples. A lot of them are tens that are dating other tens, and they don't last, right? Some do. Like look at Victoria Beckham and David Beckham. Personally, with Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, I think they're just very, very compatible, and I think they really match, and that's why they did so well, and that's the whole thing of it, right? Plus, they work well together with their businesses. There are some people that just match each other, right? And then you look at a couple like Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper. They might still be together, but I'm not sure. But I mean, and they might still be together. Well, let me think a couple that. Okay, like there's that girl. The guy that played Elvis was dating. Was it Jennifer Hudson? I forget who he was dating. I forget who he was married to, and they broke up, right? I mean, these things happen all the time, right? Like, is the person compatible? Do they match you? And those are examples, obviously, of 10 out of 10s. But they're both 10 out of 10. But the whole thing about relationships, you have to match the person, right? There's things that you have to really get along with the person, right? You can't just pick somebody and be hoping, and maybe you can. I mean, some people meet in the strangest of ways or in the simplest of circumstances or whatever. I mean, you can't predict how it's going to happen. And, obviously the whole worry about being alone forever, that's a worry that you have to take out of the way, right? A lot of people, I know the relationship situation can be dire right now, but a lot of people do find love and a lot of people do find relationships, and you just can't worry about that. Even if it's true, if you are alone forever, you can't worry about it because there's more to life than relationships. And yes, we all want a relationship, we all want someone, and but you just have to have that hope that it will happen. You can't give up on that, right? And I mean, I would suspect that most people will find a relationship, but But I mean, I'm reading statistics on people's relationships, and they're basically saying that everybody's single. I don't know if that's true. It doesn't seem like it. All my friends I thought were taken. It seems like it. All my friends in the past were taken. So I'm not sure if this is like, if this is a new thing, but, and I know divorce rate is high and all that, but I mean, I can't imagine it's that bad. But I think what they mean is just that people don't want to be tied down to a marriage anymore. They don't want to be tied down to something really restrictive or that's going to trap them, right? But I mean, I know, like for some reason, like I see these videos saying that nobody's in a relationship anymore. But I can't imagine that. I mean, people that I know are in relationships. I mean, you know, it's not that dire, right? I mean, I think we all know that if it's possible, it can happen, right? So always have that hope and always believe, but work on everything else in life, right? You don't want to be stuck always dreaming and hoping and thinking it'll never happen and then never doing anything about it, right? And the only thing you can do about it while you're waiting is just focus on your life, focus on yourself, focus on how to improve your life. Yes, guys, thank you, darlings. And yes, guys, you have to remember too that social media is not for everyone, and side hustles is not for everyone. So really, you know, it can be, and maybe you're a prime candidate for that, and maybe you'll be successful, and maybe I won't be successful. But in general, I think I will be. But you know, you can't guarantee um, success on social media or whatever, and be like, I'm rejecting everybody, you know. And you can if you want. I mean, there's no one stopping you, but I mean, you know, at some point you have to realize, and maybe I do too, that you have to pick someone that might not be. I mean, I'm always, the thing for me actually is I'm always looking for somebody that's the best, you know. And I think everybody should do that, but you have to make sure you match the person, right? And I mean, you have to have a different approach in life. You can't just be like, they're not the best, whatever. I mean, you have to just let it go. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I don't know. Sorry, guys. The point is, if you match someone, great. If you match someone, great. But there's usually more to chemistry than meets the eye. And when you have chemistry with a person, sometimes it's instant and you fall in love and you totally love them and you really enjoy them and you match completely and everything works out. And you can't force chemistry, right? I mean, if a person's not for you, you have to move on, right? And same with them, right? They want to find someone, you want to find someone. We have to work together as people to help ourselves find the person we want, right? Yes, guys, it's confusing because I know a lot of people have a heart and they want to be in a relationship and they want to be enjoying someone, but it's getting to the point now where people are just so judgmental, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to have high expectations. We all want someone that's really, really good, and we all want someone that will make sure we're safe and protected and have money. And there's no reason why you can't want that. But it's just like, what do you offer to the person? What things do you offer to the person that will make them want you? And it doesn't have to be money. Some people want money, yes, but it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be goal oriented to offer something. But if the person doesn't want those things, and they have, you know, and I mean, that's the only reason why I think feminism works. And I know I'm reading a lot of stuff about how feminism is toxic, whatever. But I think, you know, we all want someone really good, because why would you want someone that may not last and be really bad, right? But it's just tough because I think, you know, with all these gurus saying you have to be a 10 to get someone, which, yes, a lot of times being a 10 does really help, right? I'm gorgeous, I can get anyone I want, but I mean, so can somebody that's not a 10. But you have to remember, if the person doesn't want you, or the person doesn't consider you, and they're a 10 and you're not, or maybe you're both 10s, you know, you have to really, and with the whole 10 thing, I think, you know, I'm seeing a lot about that now. I think, you know, believing you're a 10, there's nothing wrong with that, right? We should all believe we're 10s, we should all think we're awesome, and we should all be picky and have standards, right? But in general, you know, and if you think that you're lacking in some areas, sure, work on them. But I don't think, I mean, I think there's just something a little off with the way society works today. And it's more to do with lots of things. That doesn't necessarily have to do with being a 10, doesn't necessarily have to do with being someone that's not a 10. It just has, there's a lot of things going on in the world. And I think with the news the way it is and all these things, it can be very distracting and hard to deal with. But you have to never lose sight. You have to always be working on yourself. And you have to remember too, there's a lot of people, I'm the type of person that wants an Instagram model type, and maybe you do too, and why would you want to give up on that dream, right? But there's a lot of people that really think that social media just feeds this unrealistic expectation. So sometimes you have to say to yourself, you know, I have these expectations, I want this kind of person. Like, what are you offering to that kind of person? Like, are you someone that they see as a person that would match them? And you really have no idea because you never know, right? Maybe you totally match them, and you would think it's not a couple that would last, right? But it does, right? So you really, we all have a type. I mean, some people that are young want older ladies or older men, right? And everybody has a type, so it really is just a whole thing that really doesn't make sense. It's just sort of like this whole social media thing that other people that aren't on social media might see as kind of silly or whatever, but and a lot of people are on social media, but a lot of people might feel like these are unrealistic, or why bother being in a relationship if it's going to be this way, or you know, I mean, it's just gone way out of hand. And I think, you know, yes, if you're a 10, it's great. I love being a 10. I think it's awesome. I think I'm very happy being gorgeous. But the person you're trying to date has to offer something to you and has to offer something good, whether they're a 10 or not, and you have to feel compatible. I mean, look at the famous couples that are together for a long time, like David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. Like, they just have something that you could tell. You could just tell and you never know, maybe they're in open world, I don't know, but you just feel they have something. You just feel like they're compatible. And then there's like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, which they may break up, but they seem like they have a good match. They seem like a good match for each other. Then there's, they're still a new couple, like Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber. They have, you can just tell they're matched. You can just tell. And there's a lot of couples that might not be 10s, but they totally match, right? And you just feel that they're couples, right? And in order to find someone, sometimes looking for that tall accountant, and maybe you'll get that tall accountant, but unless you match, there's just no point, right? Anyway,